with the.
Hey, welcome everybody. Hey, Dreadwell was just about ready to explain how I messed him up. Go ahead, Dreadwell.
You messed me up with what we're going to do at the end of the show, so
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I guess I feel like maybe done that a little bit earlier or something. But hey, welcome everybody to Hangar 18, episode number 55, which is divisible by both 11 and 5.
Yes, it is.
So there's that, right? So hey, I your giant blue fucking kilt wearing, panty chasing, stabby face, alien fuck face, robot killer from another planet, Thundercracker. And with me, as always, is the Spock to my Kirk, the Great Southern Panty Dropper, the ball sack baritone, Dreadwind.
Bludgeony faced alien robot.
Bludgeony face. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
Bludgeony face.
Yeah.
And hey, just so you guys know, Dreadwind picked all the songs this week. And for a while, I thought, hey man, he's got kind of a theme going. He's going all Swedish. But then he fucked that up and went off to other. But he does have I think it's 40% Swedish bands.
Yeah, that's pure coincidence.
Sure it is. Sure it is. There's Swedish meatball. My little Swedish meatball. All right. And I think it's just because he liked the Swedish chef on Muppets. But, I can't fault him for that because I also like the Swedish chef on the Muppets. It's fucking awesome.
Pork. Yeah.
Yeah. Swedish chef fucking kicked ass. And if you don't think so, you suck.
That's right.
Sorry. But out of all the Muppet characters, Swedish chef and Animal.
Yes.
And Statler and Waldorf.
Yes. And Beaker.
Oh, yeah, Beaker. And I even kind of like Gonzo, to be honest with
you. Yeah.
Although Gonzo, I think, was a bit of a stereotype. If you think about it.
Think anybody ever figured out what Gonzo was?
I don't think they did, but if you think too hard about it, he might come a little bit off as offensive. But yeah, I don't know if that's what they had in mind. But anyway,
yeah, I think my favorite Gonzo line is from the Muppet movie when they first meet him, and he's like, they're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're going to." He goes, "I'm going to Bombay, India, to be a movie star." They're like, "You don't go to Bombay, India to be a movie star. You go where we're going. We're going to Hollywood." He's like, "Oh, sure, if you want to do it the easy way."
Yes. Have you ever seen any of those Bollywood movies?
No.
They're fucking bizarre. I mean, they all have this singing and dancing element to them. They're really weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, fuck it. Yeah, we got way off track there. Let's get back into it here. Let's go for some heavy metal news. Somebody prop Kurt Loder's corpse ass up. For heavy metal news. All right. Hey, actually, I have two news items. Both of them are about Metallica. The mighty Met. Mm-hmm. And number one is Metallica went to Birmingham, England, and Robert Trujillo. I think it's Trujillo, isn't it? That's how you pronounce it.
Well, the J's are usually an H sound.
Trujillo.
In Spanish. Trujillo, I guess.
Trujillo? I think you added an I at the end because it's just O.
I don't know. Something like that.
So apparently neither of us fucking know. The bass player for Metallica and Kirk Hammett, whose name is much easier to pronounce.
Yes.
Right? They did this. They did a stripped down version of War Pigs and had the crowd sing it, which I thought was really, really cool. Tribute to Black Sabbath in their hometown of Birmingham.
Cool.
Right. That's my first bit of news.
Mm-hmm.
Right, from about Metallica. Right. My second bit of news is that if you get the new deluxe edition of Master of Puppets, which comes out exactly 1 week from today,
mm-hmm.
you can get on that version of Master of Puppets a live recording of Damage Incorporated with super duper early Jason Newsted, 3 months into Jason Newsted being on in Metallica, and they're playing it at Essen, East Germany in 1987.
Wow,
so it's pretty way early Newsted shit, right?
Yeah,
and they have this picture of them from that time. It looks like that's Metallica to me, right? Everybody with long hair, and they all look pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to look like Cuban pimps.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and they're all wearing like James got a Damaged Justice shirt on, so I don't know how he got that super early, but okay.
Yeah, my favorite image of Metallica is from the inside of the Justice for All CD.
Is that with the hammer?
The no, where they're just it's all four of them. They're just sitting down. They all got sunglasses on, and they're just sitting in a black background. And
oh yeah,
just, you know, they're just like, yeah, fuck off.
right on. That's how I feel most of the time, man.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, fucking wake up, man. Let's go.
I'm up.
All right,
So,
now
hey,
we're going to Dreadful.
apparently,
what is your news item?
Apparently, Avenged Sevenfold was on tour with the Mighty Metallica recently. They're doing a stadium tour, and the singer, M Shadows, what the fuck kind of name is that? Anyway,
maybe he's related to
M. Night
Shyamalan.
Maybe so, and I cannot argue with this actually. But he says one thing that you learn when you play into stadiums is what is it? It's required that you have the Black Album.
Right.
Talking about the audience. It says you can play deep cuts all you want. You can play Master Puppets and all that other stuff. But when they play the Black Album songs, every single person there is going crazy. And it's like 60% of the audience are casual fans that only have the Black Album.
No, yeah. I read something about him saying that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. You know, to do stadium shows, you have to have an album that's crossed over at some point, you know, because all those other bands like Slayer and Anthrax and all, I mean, they're still playing and they're playing sold out shows, but they're not doing stadiums like Metallica.
Right.
Still, you know.
Right. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, though.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather have 10,000 people who are like totally into a band than fucking 50,000 people that like know one album.
Yeah, but those 50,000 people sure do pay the bills for it.
That's what I say. That's a good point. They sure do.
In other news, Flesh God Apocalypse drummer David Falchito, I probably butchered that name. Call to do whatever you want, but don't call him a quitter. They played the Metal Alliance Festival in Bogota, Colombia.
So I was saying, it's Colombia, it's Bogota, because that's like okay. Where the Medellin and what was that dude's name? The big drug dealer guy. God damn, I can't think of his fucking name.
Okay.
Pablo Escobar.
Ah, yes. Okay. October 27th, where apparently prior to the show he was feeling really sick, and they were trying to debate on whether or not they should cancel the show or whatnot. And they said, no, let's go ahead and do it. So there was no way to dissuade him from playing the show. He says the motherfucker wanted to play at all costs. So we went on stage, and despite the sickness, he played a terrific show up until the last two songs. Then all of a sudden, it was like a scene out of The Exorcist. Dude puked on stage, and he didn't stop playing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's video of it. I have not watched the video. I don't know that I want to watch the video of that, but go to metalinjection.net, and if you really want to see a dude puking while he's playing drums, there is a video clip on there. But yeah, the dude did not stop.
That's dedication right there. And like I guarantee you, like fucking Ariana Grande would never fucking do that shit.
Right.
You know, she's a fucking hangnail. She'd cancel 9 shows, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's fucking the metal for you, right? That's the power of metal. That's why to that chick who said that, you know, nothing is more irrelevant than a bunch of white dudes with guitars, I'd say fuck you.
Who said that?
This chick, she's like a super social justice activist and like also a colossal racist towards white people and bigot and sexist towards men. And she's in some pop singing deal.
Oh.
And like so I guess at her concerts, it's like she at every one of her concerts, she will ask all of the women of color to move to the front, right? And I guess at one of her concerts, that was like a festival type thing where they had like 100 bands. She asked, you know, for all the women of color to move to the front, and there was this white girl cameraman up in the front, and she wouldn't move because, you know, she's up there to take pictures, and that was her job to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm not going to move because it's my job to take pictures. And I guess it pissed everybody off, and it pissed the singer off. And like the promoters of the concert like apologized for the white cameraman's blatant racism.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
God.
Because apparently, if you don't go to the back like a second-class citizen, you're a racist. It's like weird parallels to Rosa Parks there because
Jeez.
yeah, racism is racism, right? Don't be a fucking racist or a
God,
sexist for that matter. I know it hurts your head, doesn't it?
Fucked up, yeah.
I know. It's like what the fuck, right? All right. Anyway, let's move on to our review.
Yes, please.
And again, yes, hey, Dreadwind picked these, and I'm thinking Dreadwind stacked the deck a little bit on these because he picked some pretty good ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree, right? We've suffered through some shit, and like I guess we deserve it, right? Every once in a while, get some good shit, right? Mm-hmm. Our first one we have is from a band called Warfect, and they are from Sweden, 2008, and this is from their album Exoneration Denied, 2013, and the song is called Drone Wars.
This is the second time we've had them on our.
Yeah, I think it is. You're right. Yep. This is pretty pertinent issue right now with drones and everything, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be like fucking Terminator out there here in a while on the battlefield.
Right.
At least our stuff will be. Everybody else will still have like AK-47s and like mud huts and shit, but we'll bomb the fuck out of them, right?
North Korea is gonna be putting up paper airplanes.
Right. Yeah. North Korea will be like, hey, guess what? We have this ICBM that can go 200 miles. Whoops, I guess we had it. I guess we didn't see that B-2 Spirit bomber fucking nail it. All right, anyway. Moving on. All right. My notes are as follows. These guys are partly out of thrash uniform, and the thrash drill instructor is going to be pissed. Because they're playing thrash music, and they have the flying V, and they have like a couple of them have bullet belts, and like one of them had a spiked wrist thing, but they didn't all have like the black shirts, and like, they just were, I don't know, it seemed like they're half-assed in their thrash uniforms.
Yeah.
I love the tempo lowering at about 35 seconds into the song, which made it a more guttural sound. Mm-hmm. It looks like this might be the first time that the bass player has ever been out in the sun. I love the chorus, but they keep zooming in on the drummer who looks like he plays for Nickelback. he reminds me of Clay Matthews, kind of, except like without muscles.
Yeah. Well, my theory is he's got long hair because you can see it's pulled back.
Right. Yeah.
And they were out in the desert, and he just looks like he's ready for the video to be over.
Oh yeah, he totally looks like
just like
tired. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I love the subject matter about the song itself. Let me start that one more time. I love the subject matter of the song itself, dominating through death technology. I don't know where I was thinking when I wrote that. Mm. All right, let's be honest here. The breakdown leading into the solo is pretty weak, but then the solo is pretty passable. I mean, it was definitely wasn't Slayer ready or Metallica, but it was okay. At 3:30, it seems like you have an entirely new song. They just like totally change everything. The entire song. It's like, what the fuck? The vocals, I mean, it's definitely thrash, but they have like a black metal type screech to the vocals a little bit. So I think it might be like black thrash or black death or death thrash or I don't know. Any one of those fucking like mutant hybrids, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody said about Warfect is an explosive mixture of hellbent riffing inspired by giants from back in the day with the addition of ravishing new trademark sound. I thought that was a pretty good description there. It made me think of Ravishing Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you remember him, right? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I give Warfect Drone Wars an 8.0.
Oh. Yeah, Warfect. So we're in the desert, and we're playing thrash metal. That's pretty standard. He's got the flying V. He's got the bullet belt. Got all that shit going on. And then, holy shit, the riff at 35 seconds I thought was just fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, like I sadd. Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
Symbolic.
Yeah, the drummer looks like he's completely ready to stop filming. Like I said, he just looks exhausted.
Yeah, my guess is drumming is probably the most cardio out of all the instruments in a typical band. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. There's tons of changes up in this song. 1:45. There's another change up where it gets faster. Then it goes back to the other riff, and then there's another tempo change at 2:45. At 3:30, you said that it completely changed like a different song. I actually liked that one. I thought that was absolute gold. That change up right there. And then I wrote, "Holy hell! If you can't headbang to this, then you must be deaf." Oh. It's pretty relentless from start to finish. Straight up old school thrash with lots and lots of change ups, riff after riff after riff, just coming at you. The singer, like you said, kind of has a black metal style to his screaming. It is weird. It's hard to describe. It's kind of a cross between black metal and thrash vocals.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
Yeah. I really liked it though. I gave it 8.5.
All right. Okay. Go ahead. Maybe you're not so goddamn depressing. Moving on. Witchery. True North. It's like, isn't that like a line of clothing for like snobby kids? True North.
I don't know.
Or no, that's North Face. Fuck. I fucked that up. Let me start that again. Witchery. True North. Totally has nothing to do with any clothing line. Another band from Sweden, 1997, and this is off of their I Am Legion album, which is coming out 1 week from today. Song is called True North. The keyboards in the 80s, or let me start that again. God, I'm fucking everything up today. The keyboards in the opening sound like every 1980s horror movie.
Oh, that's exactly what I wrote. Oh my god.
What's with the weird eye with a forest growing in it? Holy fuck, that riff came out of nowhere and suddenly I have a beard. I am a fan of all the Viking imagery in this video, including the more subtle shit like Odin's ravens, Hunin and Munin. And they even have like the wolves whose names I don't remember.
Fenrir and
Fenrir does another one too. But I have a tattoo of Hunin and Munin. So anyway, the vocals are definitely geared more towards black metal. I mean, he's definitely got the black metal screech in this one. There's no crossover at all in this one. Holy shit, did that mountain just expel ink like a squid? I am a fan of the verse guitar work, like in the regular verses. The guitar work under that is pretty good.
Yeah.
The change up at 212 came out of nowhere, just like a Viking ship just about to fuck up France. The solo actually feels like it was recorded in a frozen northern wasteland. Like when he was playing it, I could like almost picture like being out on the snow and being like really cold and like trying to get some furs and some Viking pussy to keep warm. I don't know. Maybe I'll just. Anyway, there's strictly tongue-in-cheek humor often involves. This is my favorite part. There's strictly tongue-in-cheek humor often involving executions, murder, necrophilia, and resurrections and other morbid topics can be spotted in song titles and album names, as well as their very own mascot, an animated skeleton called Ben Wrangle, the name being a pun of the Swedish word Ben Wrangle, which translates into Skellington, whatever the fuck that is, right?
Okay.
These are also, we had these guys on before, because I remember looking up information about them, and they have like, not the devil horns, but they have the W for witchery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and then I give it a 7.5 Dreadwood. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wrote exactly what you wrote about the keyboard. I said the keyboard intro definitely has an 80s horror movie feel to it. And parenthetically, I wrote Exorcist. It sounds like the theme to Exorcist at the beginning. The doom doom doo 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 doo. Yeah,
I got chills right there.
I know. Oof, I'm scared now. Speaking of Exorcist, that was the segue from the story from earlier. Thankfully, no one threw up in this video. The guitars kick in hard, and that riff is pretty fucking kicking ass.
Yes, totally.
Definitely black metal styled vocals and lots of, like you said, Viking imagery, which I thought was really cool. I don't have very many other notes about the song itself. I was enjoying the video and the imagery of the videos. The whole time I'm listening to it, I felt like I was Jon Snow about to go fuck up some White Walkers.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah, I gave it 8.0.
8.0. Damn, that's fucking. Yeah, you rated everything above me. Right? Oh, wait, speaking of Jon Snow, did you hear that the dude who plays Jon Snow was recently forced to apologize because he said that men can be the victims of sexism too?
I did see that.
I know, it's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Our next band is from Atlanta, Georgia, which is a suburb of Sweden. Formed in 2003, and it's Death. And this is their song Subterfuge, which comes from the album The Hinderers from 2007. The drummer is killing it, but the main guitars in the opening have this tone that almost makes them sound like they are being played backwards. It's really weird, like guitar tone to it. Goddamn, I love the low tone on the verse guitar. Is this one of those fetish videos where a chick is in a giant latex bubble? It's like the whole video, there's this chick. She's like stuck to get out of this giant condom. And she gets out at the end. She's like an alien covered in like some kind of goo.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder what kind of pedal they were playing through to give the guitars and the bridge part that eerie sound. It's like they have this like in like the bridges, they have like this really eerie sound of the guitars. It's pretty awesome, I think. All right, here we go. Okay, I think I may have become impregnated with a guitarist's baby. Such was the overwhelming magnitude of that solo. I mean, that solo was just amazing.
Yeah.
Daft was started by some guy's name and Mike Cameron, the other guy's name I'm not even gonna fucking try, who had been playing in bands since they were in middle school. The two friends attended Berkeley College, but they got it spelled here Berklee, Berkeley. I bet people at actual Berkeley would get offended by that and need to say space. Berkeley College of Music. Oh, maybe it is something different because Berkeley College of Music in Boston.
Okay.
But they eventually left school to concentrate full time on making money. That actually fucking was like the quote in their Wikipedia. The band was originally, let's get this, the band was originally known as Dirt Nap before the name change in 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this one. I give it an 8.5. I'm a fan of Daft.
Yeah, this one starts with a very, very up-tempo beat. It just starts off kind of blasting you real fast. But then it gets crunchy. Like the tempo kind of slows and it gets to that real crunchy riff going.
The low tone,
when the vocals kick in. Then the tempo picks up again. Lots and lots of changes throughout the song. Then there's a really, really melodic breakdown that I thought was really nice with the guitars. The solo was great. More tempo changes. Just really kind of tempo change pretty much describes the whole song. It's a good, solid song all the way through, but nothing quite grabbed me like in the previous song. You had those really kick-ass riffs that jumped out, and this one it had some good riffs. Nothing was bad in it. Like there's no weak spot in the song. It's just nothing jumped out. Like I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, I don't know. It's 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a bad song by any means. It's really good. It's a good, solid song all the way through, and you break it down, and there's no weak spot in the entire song, but there's no strong spot either.
I got you. I think they call that average.
Average. Yeah, I guess so.
All right, our next band is from Gothenburg, Sweden, 2001. Fucking Dread went on his Sweden kick.
Yeah.
This band is called Avatar. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, kick ass! We're gonna have the giant blue fucking Smurfs fucking shit up." But no, I was robbed. But the song is called "Hail the Apocalypse," and it is the title track from their 2014 album. All right, I'm loving this opening with the contrasting guitar tones. Like they have like a low tone and a super high tone, and against each other. It's pretty cool. The singer from this band sounds exactly like the singer from the band K9, and that's K and then 9 parenthetically. If you don't know who those guys are, look them up. They're pretty good. And he also sounds a lot like the dude from Mushroom Head.
Yeah.
When he's doing his like screamy parts.
Yeah.
Not like when he's going, "It tops the show," like that he does. All right. Anyway,
I guess so.
Yeah, he does. Just fucking take my word for it. All right.
Okay.
Holy fucking shit. Did I just witness someone dancing the Charleston in a metal video?
Yes.
I think I did. And then I said, is this the metal version of the Beatles?
Yeah.
And then where the fuck did his monkey go? I'm confused. Because he's got like one of those like hurdy-gurdies, but there's no fucking monkey. And inside there's like these metal guys, but they're dressed like the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and I want to say it right now. I'm incredulous that the guy was actually playing a string bass. I don't think that's true. The solo was a little half-assed. Hail the Apocalypse is the 5th album released by Swedish metal band Avatar on May 13, 2014. It is their first album to chart on the Billboard 200 at number 97, selling 3,500 copies in its first week. I got to say this. They are a bit too much on the new metal side for me. It sounded a little bit like kind of like Mudvayne and Mushroom Head, a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I give it a 7.0.
Okay. Yeah, I have an interesting opening guitar riff, which I thought was pretty cool.
Right.
But I was like, what's up with the kind of had like a synthesizer going along with it.
Yep.
I was like, what the hell is up with that? Um, when the main riff came in, it had a cool groove to it going on. I could see very new metal, like you said, very kind of Mushroom Head and Mudvayne style. Apparently, we have Brandon Lee as the Crow working on an organ grinder.
That's what it is, organ grinder.
Yeah, and then the band is playing inside of the organ grinder in Beatles-style Sergeant Pepper suits.
Yeah, right on. So, yeah.
The change up bridge section at 2:30 gets really low. I don't know what they were tuned to, but it's like they switched instruments. they all grabbed like a detuned bass all of a sudden or something. What I have? Oh, okay. Apparently, I really like the main riff because, like I said, I scored it mainly based off the main riff.
Okay.
The chorus breakdown though is really odd. Like when they go to the chorus part and the music, it's there's no, I don't know how to describe it, but there's no synchronization. Like
I think somewhere in there he said all flesh is equal when it's burnt.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm talking about the music though, the music part. Yeah, the lyrics. Yeah, I thought the lyrics were interesting. The video's hilarious, but the music for the chorus part it's I don't know. It's I guess too technical, maybe. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it goes kind of all over the place. It's not. I don't know. It's weird.
It's new metal-y?
It's not. No, it's not even new metal-y. It's something else. It's I don't know, like new progressive metal-y, jazzy type. Because they got like some weird like jazz thing going on in there where it you know, I don't know how to describe it.
All right.
It's doing some weird stuff for the chorus, and it kind of, to me, it broke up the flow of the song. But I still enjoyed it for the most part. I probably scored this higher than I should have. I gave it an 8.
Damn.
But I liked the main riff mainly. That was, I think, what I based it mostly off of.
All right, you just like that fucking King Diamond fucking makeup, right?
No, he looks like the Crow in that one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He looks nothing like King Diamond.
No, right? Nothing.
All right,
I've never actually heard. This is my first time listening to this band. I've heard of them, but like you, every time I see their name, I think of the giant blue aliens.
Who was the chick in that? It wasn't Sigourney Weaver?
Well, she was one of them, yeah. And then that other chick did the voice of one of the aliens.
Mila Kunis?
No, it was I think the chick from the new Star Trek movies.
Margaret Thatcher?
No.
I don't know. The chick that Sacha Baron Cohen or wherever, the chick that plays Sasha in the Walking Dead?
I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
It's like her name's like Zoe something or other, I think. Anyway.
All right. Let's move on. All right. First of all, I'm going to say right off the rip, I love the name of this band.
Yeah.
And they're from France. 1999 they were formed. And yes, they did Party in France. That goes 1999. Mm-hmm. That's how they came up with the name Ultra Vomit, which is a fucking amazing name. The song is called Camtar.
Another segue from the story from earlier.
Right. And the album, which I apparently didn't write the name of the album down, but it was released April 28th, 2017. I was really specific about when it was released, but fucked up and didn't write the name of the album down. You can look it up. Ultra Vomit. It's got Camtar on it. Mm-hmm. That's Kammthar. Okay, apparently the song is a direct parody of Rammstein. Is that Optimus Prime from the shitty Bayformers movies? Holy fuck, he is saying 2 words so far, and already he's nailed the Rammstein parody. Mm-hmm. Parody aside, this song sounds like something off of the 7th Metallica album. With like whatever in there, like I think it was like Load or Reload or Fuck Face. I don't know. One of those in there, in that range. Sounds like one of those songs. There's something historically unsettling about a French band singing in German. The video itself is fairly funny, which is pretty much the entire reason we got the score that I gave it.
Yeah.
And the perfect length for a tongue-in-cheek song. It's like 3 minutes long. And they're definitely hitting spot on Rammstein parody.
Yeah.
Like even the little things in the where like his guitar got set on fire and he dropped his drumstick. That's pretty good. Also, this is a translation from French Wikipedia, which I thought was pretty funny how it came out translated, right? Ultra Vomit launches itself like a group of grindcore whose humorous touch resides in lyrics of childish songs like Balba or A Green Mouse, and shift with the violence of the music and in subjects or taken with lightness.
Okay.
In other words, languages don't often translate directly very well.
Right.
Anyway, I gave him a 7.0 Drummer.
Yeah. First thing I wrote was that because they put the logo for like the actual word Camthar, they actually stick that up on the video screen, like right when the song starts, and it's written exactly like the Rammstein logo.
Right.
So I was like, okay, are they trying to rip off Rammstein here? And then the music kicks in, and they sound exactly like Rammstein. And then he starts singing, and he sounds exactly like the guy from Rammstein.
Yeah, apparently they do that all the time. They mock other bands.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, is this supposed to be satire? Because I didn't understand the thing he was saying because he's singing in German. And then, but then you pick up on it because there's tons of humor in the video. Like I said, the guy dropping his drumstick, and then the dude driving the truck. I don't know what's going on with the truck driving. It's the song about driving a truck or being a truck driver, or I don't know. But like the whole song is about that, and yeah. It's strange. I did like how the guitar caught on fire and the guy was trying to put it out.
Right.
And then at the end, it's on the ground and the guitar is just, on flames, and they all come around and start roasting hot dogs around it.
And they set off the smoke alarms. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and for I guess for the chorus part, it's all in German, so he's and then he goes vroom vroom.
That was perfect German right there, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I've been brushing up on it. I gave it a 7.0 also. I just thought it was really humorous, and it does definitely sound like Rammstein. So
totally. And then my favorite part is like they mock what Rammstein does, right? It's like how Jim Brewer does Metallica, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Moving on. Okay. Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss, the song. Slayer formed in Huntington Park, California, 1981. This is the title track of their 1990 album. I'm just going to tell you right now, I gave this a 10 plus because it's fucking Slayer Seasons in the Abyss. That's probably my favorite Slayer album, and this is one of my favorite Slayer songs of all time. So what I did, so as like not to taint it with my hard nipples.
Okay.
I took somebody else's review of the album of Seasons in the Abyss, and I'll read it to you now.
All right.
After staking out new territory with the underrated South of Heaven, Slayer brought back some of the pounding speed of Rain and Blood for their third major album, Seasons in the Abyss. Major label album, Seasons in the Abyss. Essentially, Slayer fuses its two predecessors, periodically kicking up mid-tempo grooves of South of Heaven with the manic bursts of aggression. War Ensemble and the title track each represented opposite sides of the coin, and they both earned Slayer their heaviest MTV airplay to date, which is to say they played it like once a week. In fact, Seasons in the Abyss is probably their most accessible album, displaying the full range of their abilities all in one place, with the sharp, clean production. Since the band is refining rather than progressing or experimenting, Slayer doesn't have quite the freshness of its predecessor, or Seasons doesn't have quite the freshness of its predecessors. But aside from that drawback, it's strong amongst all the way from top to bottom, with perhaps one or two exceptions. Fuck you, whoever wrote that. Lyrically, the band returns to demonic visions of the afterlife anymore. Wait a minute. Lyrically, the band rarely returns to demonic visions of the afterlife anymore, preferring instead to find tangible horror in real life, war, murder, human weakness. There's even a full-fledged social criticism, which should convince any doubters that Slayer aren't trying to promote the subjects they sing about. Duh. Like Metallica's Master of Puppets or Megadeth's Peace Selva, who's buying Seasons in the Abyss paints Reagan-era America as a cesspool of corruption and cruelty, and the music is as devilishly effective as ever. 10 plus.
Interesting. Okay. Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. The intro welcomes me into the seventh circle of hell.
Fucking A, it does.
That clean guitar section is a prelude to eternal damnation. Here it comes, rising from the pits of flame. The guitars sound out a chorus of death that builds into a rift that eats your
I
soul.
like it.
Tom is actually singing here, not just screaming, and his voice draws you further into the dark shadows. Dave is absolutely killing it on drums, and the solos, both of them, are amazing. This and South of Heaven are, without a doubt, my absolute two favorite Slayer songs. 10.
Oh, damn, he gave it a 10.
Gave it a 10.
On a Slayer song.
Yes.
But goddamn.
Yep.
I agree with that one. All right. Moving on to another thrash metal icon, Testament, formed in Berkeley, California, 1980. What happened to California? Because I
don't know.
They made all these great bands, and then they fucking suck now, right? All right. Testament from Berkeley, California, formed in 1983. This is the title track off their 2016 album Brotherhood of the Snake. Instantly, when I saw this song title, I was reminded of an excellent standalone Warhammer 40K book of the same name about the Iron Snakes chapter of Space Marines. It's a really good book. You should read it. Highly recommend it. The drumming and guitar are crisp and spot on, as is Billy's vocals. The video itself has some great visuals. They waited an entire 90 seconds before smashing you in the fucking face with that guitar solo. It's a pretty amazing guitar solo. The breakdown sounds, here's like a couple of criticisms. The breakdown sounds a little thin and could have used a bit more rhythm guitar set on low. But then right after the breakdown, they did this like little ascending riffage part. And that was quite awesome and it reminded me a lot of the 80s style thrash metal. Perfect length song also. My only one knock on the song, other than what I just said, was the shorted out guitar outro thing they did. Like the like the guitar was shorted out on the amp, right?
Right.
I wasn't a fan of that. But I mean, that was like 5 seconds. The rest of the song is great. Billy said that the album draws lyrical inspiration from ancient astronaut hypothesis, namely through the Ancient Aliens television program. Furthermore, he said the title comes from the name of an ancient alien society. And if you're not familiar with the Ancient Aliens television program, the meme that has the guy with the weird looking hair that says aliens, that's the guy. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So there's that. And like, if you don't know anything about Testament, they're kind of like spiritual. They're kind of like hippies of thrash metal, but they're fucking amazing. I give this a 9.5 judgment.
Yeah. You're wondering what happened to California. This might be pure coincidence, but I'm just throwing this out there. In 1992, Dianne Feinstein got elected to senator.
That's a good point.
Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
She going out there and everybody's thrash boner. Just
all these great thrash metal bands from the 80s out of California, and Dianne Feinstein becomes Senate 92. Just throwing it out there. Just saying.
That's a pretty good hypothesis.
Okay, so Testament. Brotherhood of the Snake was their newest album, and it absolutely kills.
Totally.
This song just gets right to it. This is probably my favorite track off the album too. It just gets right to it, in the face. No foreplay, no no loving caress on the neck or anything. No, just
sticks it right
bam.
in. Not just
right. Yep. Nope. Not even no lube. Just straight in.
Bareback.
It's brutal and fast and in your face. It's like a sloppy blowjob at the end of a porn.
I like it. Real fast and in your face. That's pretty much
it. Chuck sounds absolutely amazing on this song. His vocals are just awesome. The guitars are blistering and absolutely on point. The lyrics, like you said, they focus on that. If you don't know what it's about, though, it definitely has a very biblical sound feel to it, because there's a lot of biblical references about
Jesus was an alien man.
Yeah, Christ comes wearing his crown, and a couple other ones. So if you don't know what the story's actually about, you're like, wow, these guys got all religious on us all of a sudden. But it's the alien kind of thing mixed in with that. Where'd I go with that? And there's all kinds of imagery within the video. It's like a lyric video, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And it's got all kinds of imagery of like secret societies and hidden symbols and stuff like that.
Right, like the unfinished pyramid and all that shit.
Yeah. The breakdown has a great guitar harmony to it. As usual, the solos are great. Great guitar players. The floor just drops out at one point, and the gates of hell fly open. Absolutely amazing song. I give it a 9.5.
Hey, look at that. Somebody.
Yeah.
I'll be goddamned. Okay. Phil Anselmo and Tony Iommi on Time Is Mine.
Yep.
And this is from the album Iommi, which was his like solo release, October 17, 2000. I remember when I bought this album, I was so anxious for it. I was like, oh my God, I got to get this. This is going to be fucking amazing. And shockingly, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like they managed to make Billy Corgan not suck on this fucking album. That's a fucking feat right there. All right.
If you're not aware, the Iommi solo album, it's a solo album by Tony Iommi, but each song features a different guest singer.
Right. Right. Like I got Billy Corgan and I think maybe is Pete Steele on there?
Yeah,
maybe.
Peter Steele's on one of them.
Ensemble, there's a couple others. And then Ozzy's on it too with Who's Fooling Who, which is a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tony Iommi, born February 19th, 1948.
Isn't there one with Billy Idol too?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there is. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. That fucking riff is goddamn brilliant. From the absolute legend of riff making. Yes. I mean, the guy came up with Iron Man, for Christ's sake. It has this swinging lowness that almost makes it sound like a monster is drunkenly destroying the fuck out of a town. And Salmo's vocals absolutely kill it on this, reminding me a lot of his Far Beyond Driven days. Somebody made this comment. I thought this was pretty funny. Knock, knock, knock. Hello? You have a moment to talk about my Lord and Savior? This fucking song? Well, that was pretty good. Phil goes from soulful crooning to hateful screaming without missing a beat, and Tony plays right along behind him, following him to hell, where metal legends make Satan do their bidding. Tony makes you wait until almost 4 minutes in to slay it with that bluesy as fuck solo. Why? Because he is an ear pussy tease. That's why. All right, this is my favorite part of the whole thing. According to Tony Iommi, he and Phil Anselmo recorded 3 tracks together for the album, but only put 1 onto the album. Iommi has also said that he wrote a couple of tracks with Billy Idol and 2 with Billy Corgan, but we can only use 1 of each. Which leads me to say, why is there not a fucking follow-up CD to this?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, he came out with that one with the guy who sang on the one Sabbath album. God damn it, Fusion. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
There's another Iommi album.
Tony Martin.
No, not Tony Martin.
No.
There's another Iommi solo, and it's got the other guy from Black Sabbath on it. It's just him and that guy.
Glenn Hughes?
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, 9.5. Amazing song.
Yeah, pure Black Sabbath opening riff. Just right off the bat. Amazing. Oh, gives you chills. That's it, man. It's full of pure metal doom.
Yep, totally.
And then the music gets nice and soft and a little bit clean as Phil's deep voice makes love to your ear pussy.
Ooh, I like it.
Like a Barry White type of smooth loving.
We both said ear pussy already.
No, that's funny. Then the emotion picks up as the guitars kick back in, and Phil's scream vocals just kick in without missing a beat. The chorus riff is absolutely masterful. A masterful masterpiece. I actually wrote masterful masterpiece.
Masterful masterpiece. I like it.
It's Tony Iommi. It's 2 metal legends doing a song together, and it's everything you would expect from a collaboration between 2 metal legends like this, fitting both of their styles together. Because vocally, it's Phil Anselmo just doing his thing like you would expect from Phil Anselmo.
Yep. Sounds like not taken right out of Pantera track. Yep.
Right. It's not like he's trying to be Ozzy or anything. He's Phil doing his thing, and then you have Tony doing his thing behind him, and they mesh together perfectly. It's great. I give it a 9.5.
Oh, fuck somebody again. Goddamn.
Yeah.
All right.
And the track with Peter Steele is also equally amazing.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
In fact, the Who's Fooling Who is pretty good too, really.
Yeah.
All right. In fact, you should buy that album. Everybody who doesn't have that album should go out and get it because it's really good. It's almost like that Nativity in Black, the cover of the album. That's a really good one too. Everybody should own that too.
Yeah.
We should come out with like our albums that everybody should own.
Must own albums. Yeah.
Right. All right. Terror, Keepers of the Faith. Terror from Huntington Park, California. I might have fucked that up. Formed in 19. That can't be right. That's fucking Slayer. I don't know where the fuck Terror is from because I fucked up and put Huntington Park, California, 1981, which is Slayer. Anyway, yeah, that's definitely not them. Anyway, it's the title track of their 2015 album. My first note is, holy shit, was that a cassette tape? These guys really like stark white writing on black shirts and hats. Still there?
Yeah, Terror is a 5-piece American hardcore punk band with members from Los Angeles, California, and Richmond, Virginia, formed in 2002. There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you for fucking fixing my fucking. All right, I was going to give this song a bad review, but then I saw Jesus Christ headbanging to it, so I was forced to give it some slack, else I burned in eternal hellfire. I wonder how many cartons of cigarettes the singer smokes per day. Oh yeah, this song is pretty much standard Terror, which has its place, and I like Terror. Don't get me wrong, but let's not lie to ourselves. A lot of Terror sounds like a lot of other Terror, and this song is no exception. The singer Scott Vogel is widely known in the scene, not just for his efforts to keep hardcore pure and fun, but for his love of stage dives and for his tendency for onstage banter, known colloquially as Vogelisms. Examples include, "We need to elevate the maximum stage dive potential," and "Take this shit on to the next level," and "Maximum output, activate the pit," which I love that last. Anyway, I give it a 7.0. I mean, it's pretty much run-of-the-mill Terror.
Yeah, I have hardly any notes on this, and my notes are short, just like the song, which is like right at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Basically, I wrote, I'm getting a big Hatebreed vibe out of these guys.
Yeah,
it's pretty standard.
Core, yep.
Yeah, pretty standard hardcore. It's got a nice riff to it, but it's pretty straightforward. There's no surprises or change-ups, no guitar solos. It like you said, it kind of pretty much sounds like every other hardcore song out there. It's not bad, but it's very, I guess, generic hardcore sound. Average. Yep. Yeah, 7.0 also.
Oh, all right, man, damn. We fucking are symbiotic all over the place.
I know.
All right, here we go. Here's fucking
for this one. I was really hoping. Apparently, someone made a Warhammer 40K video to this song.
Oh,
when I was looking it up, and I was kind of hoping you would have picked that one for.
Oh damn! Video. I didn't know that. Fuck! I wish I had it now. All right, continuing on with Dreadwing's Sweden boner for this one. This band is from Falun, Sweden, 1999, and yes, they also partied like it was 1999. The band is called Sabaton. And this is from their album Heroes, released in 2014. It's a bonus track, so you had to buy the expensive version to get this, which you probably should have. All right. Okay. Let me say right off the rip that For Whom the Bell Tolls is one of my favorite songs ever, of all time, forever, ever. And if these fucking meatballs fuck it up, I will be relentless. Okay. They've managed not to fuck up the iconic opening too badly. Although I could do without the synthesizers in the orchestra.
Yeah, I figured you said.
It seems like they have mixed the drums a lot higher than Metallica did. Like a lot higher than Metallica. That's not a bad thing. I mean, that's From the Bell Tolls is like a drum-driven song, so it's good that he did that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Big shocker here. I'm not a fan of the vocals, especially when he rolls his R's. Like he's like, time marches. Like, what are you doing, dude? This is fucking For Whom the Bell Tolls. You're not supposed to go rah 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 rah. Okay.
God.
But I don't hate Sabaton. I mean, I don't like him as much as Trevor does. But and this is an iconic song, so like, you know, it's not gonna be easy for me to like give you a big stamp of approval. But anyway, I give it an 8.0.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, 8.0.
Okay.
If this would have been Metallica, I'd have been a 10+.
Well, that's without That goes without saying.
Right. And people,
From
people in the comment section were saying that this is much better than the Metallica version because James Hetfield can't do vocals. Huh? What the fuck are you talking about?
There was a lot of stupid comments in the
there's a difference between singing, which is what I don't know what the dude's name is, Cronin von Crowder Schweden, whatever the Sabaton guy's name is. He sings, right? He sings like Dio sings.
No, he doesn't.
Hetfield was doing vocals. I'm saying they both sing, not they sing like the same style. I'm saying they both sing as opposed to
they both sing, but he does not sound like Dio.
Oh no, totally not sound like Dio. I'm just saying they both sing.
Yeah.
Somebody Hetfield just vocalizes, right?
Somebody in the comments was like, "Oh yeah, this one's more power metal, and the original is much more thrash."
Really?
And I'm like, no. It's the exact same tempo. It's not a thrash song.
Right. Well, I guess you could
almost a thrash album.
This is a little bit more power because of the vocals and the orchestra, but
the orchestra maybe, yeah, but
the original, you're right, was not really a thrash song. You're right.
Yeah,
more like heavy metal, just
right.
metal song.
Yeah. This one, basically, what this version sounds like, it's a cover for Whom the Bell Tolls, and this sounds a lot like the version that Metallica did on the S&M album.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I couldn't place it, but I was thinking. Right.
Yeah, that's because they add some orchestration to it. So that's basically what it sounds like. The tempo and the guitars are solid. They pretty much follow the original. They don't really deviate from the original very much at all, really. I think it's a good song choice for his voice, for his vocal style.
Yeah,
he doesn't sound like James, obviously.
You know, another one he would be good at, I think, would be Disposable Heroes.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be interesting to hear.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Let's throw you off track.
Version. Yeah, that would be good. And that fits their theme too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm gonna have to call them up now and
call them up and tell them they gotta cover Disposable Heroes.
Gotta cover this one, man. You gotta do it. Yeah, I like it. It's not the original. It's not as good as the original. Nothing's gonna beat the original. I'm sorry. The original is definitely 10 plus. But as far as covers go, when you hear a cover song, this is kind of what you want to hear. You want to hear a band that doesn't really deviate from the original. They play a solid version of it, but they still add just a little bit, make it their own, to kind of stamp on their own, which I think they did. I gave it a 9.0. I'm a fan of Sabaton. I'm a fan of this song.
Really?
Fan of this version of it. Yeah. Yep.
Plus, I can't take him with his like Thor shirt that he has. I can't do it. He needs to do something about that. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Not a fan of his Thor shirt.
It's their uniform.
All right. Okay. So hey, I fucked Dreadwind up on our ending thing that we were gonna do here, and because we've been doing like advertisements, like fake advertisements for our sponsors.
Yeah.
And just this morning, I was like, man, I don't want to fucking think up some sponsors. So I was like, all right, change it to favorite, top 5 favorite comic book characters of Dreadwind and I. And so we're going to go ahead and give them to you here. Starting with my number 5, which is Cable. And I'm a fan of Cable. Like, I like the fact that, he's kind of secretive, at least he was, back when I read comics. And, like, he's, like, kind of from the future and kind of not from the future. And he has, like, telekinetic powers, but he wants to hide that from his fellow X, whatever, force factor, fuckface, whatever the X group he's in. Anyway, I really like it. And I know this chick that I know does a gender bent Cable cosplay, which is pretty good. Yeah, she's really good at it too. I mean, she has like 900 cosplays, and all of them are pretty good. But anyway, that's my number 5 Dreadwind.
My number 5. This is mostly based off the artwork because the actual stories themselves are kind of weird. And I admit I don't follow the storyline itself. It's again mainly I've collected these comics primarily for the artwork, but it's Dawn. You know who Dawn is?
I do not. Other than my sister.
No, Dawn, character created by Joseph Michael Linsner.
Like the redhead chick.
Yes, yeah, she's
Okay,
a
now I know what you're talking
goddess.
about. Yes, now I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
a
And
lot
you're
of
right. The art for that is fucking amazing.
it is a lot of symbology in the imagery. With like the three tears coming out of her eye, and she's got the chains on one arm and the roses on the other one, and all that type of stuff. Amazing artwork. I absolutely love the artwork. I have several autographed pictures that he's done
Mm.
from that series. So that's
Yeah,
my number five.
my wife has an autographed Satanica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
because I guess he was here at the Laughing Over comic book shop a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
She got Satanica from Veridic Comics. So
Cool.
Which is pretty cool. Anyway, my number 4 is Wolverine. Shtick.
Nice.
Wolverine, adamantium bones. I mean, my only real deal with Wolverine is like his original comics. Like he would just like go on killing sprees, and he would like kill fuckloads of ninjas, right?
Mm.
And then like he became popular with kids, and then like all of a sudden he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Like even like he did this one. There was this one episode where like he and Storm were in this bar, and he was playing pool, and he bet this guy that he couldn't hurt him. So the guy put on brass knuckles and punched him in the face. And then like just before Wolverine was about to punch him back, Storm was like, "No, you can't do it," and he like left. Like really? And also one of my favorite things that ever happened to Wolverine was when Punisher shot his balls off with an Uzi. And my favorite part, like Punisher's line was, "Don't worry, they'll grow back."
Oh God,
I love it. That's my number 4 is Wolverine. Dreadwing.
Number 4 for me is Green Arrow.
Ooh, Green Arrow.
Kind
Hey,
of.
let me ask you something. Is this show Arrow about Green Arrow?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And this goes back. I was a fan of Green Arrow way before the show came out. Because he's the original. I'm not, and I haven't read a Green Arrow comic in literally decades. But from the comics I remember, he was very much similar to Batman, but a little darker.
Right.
And he was more of an underground character at the time. He's more popular now because of the show Arrow. But before the show came out, like nobody knew who the fuck Green Arrow was. So he was much more one of those underground characters. And I was just always a fan of him. He was, I like that. I like that he didn't have a superpower. He was just really freaking skilled with the bow and arrow.
Right.
He had all the gadgets on the arrows, but still, he just goes out there and fucks people up with his bow and arrow. So
right on. What's wrong with that? Like Daryl Dixon with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna say one more thing too about Wolverine. Like Wolverine's like the sales of Wolverine were slumping like in its early years, and then like they gave it over to Larry Hama, and then like he turned it into the number 2 selling comic of all time. Yeah. And speaking of, also like Larry Hama, like when he was first starting out, they're like, "Hey, we have this comic book about a toy line," and like I guess like the common thing in comics was comics about toy lines was like a death sentence for your career.
Oh.
Right? So he took on G.I. Joe, the comic series, and turned it into the number 1 selling comic series at the time. Right?
It was a great comic book, yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing comic book for a couple of reasons. And like another real quick short story about Larry Hama is like he was like, "Hey, all these people, they just have like face plates, and there's never really any emotions. So I want to introduce people with faces." Talking about Cobra, right?
Yeah.
And they were like hesitant to do it. And he's like, "Well, I want to make it a woman." And they're like, "No, we can't do that because a female toy is a doll, but a male toy is an action figure." And he's like, "I think this will work. Just let me go ahead and do it." So he created the Baroness, and it turns out it was the top selling toy that year. Anyway, my number 3 is Deathlock. Not to be confused with Deathlock, but Deathlock. He is the half cyborg character, and like if you like read the comics, it was really good the way they did it. Is they would have his thoughts, and then they would have like right next to his thoughts would be like his like technical readouts and shit. Like his computer was telling him various things. So I thought that was really good, and I was a fan of that like for a long time. Number 3, Deathlock. Good one.
Cool. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go mainstream here, and I'm gonna go with Spider-Man.
Oh,
I know, but that was one of the comics that I used to read a lot as a kid, and I think what I enjoyed about Spider-Man probably more than anything else was the variety of villains that he went up
Oh
against.
yeah, yeah.
And I probably actually what I should probably do, I should probably instead of writing Spider-Man, Spider-Man's
The
villains.
villains of Spider-Man. You're right, because he even has some
Villains
good
of
villains
Spider.
like
Yes,
Rhino and
the
like
Vulture,
Vulture. Yep. Green Goblin,
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin was one of my absolute favorites. Venom, of course, another one in there. Just tons of great villains. The whole Sinister Six, I thought was great. Um, so yeah, I guess Spider-Man's villains. I guess I should amend that.
All right.
So that's my number 3.
My number 2 is Ghost Rider.
Nice.
He's fucking Ghost Rider. He's a guy riding around on a motorcycle who has a skull on fire for a head, and he's got like the stare that he does.
Yeah.
It has that like mystical power, and he also has his fucking chains, right? So like Ghost Rider is pretty badass, right? And it's probably inspired like a million tattoos. So
Yeah.
gonna go with Ghost Rider as my number 2 drone.
I almost picked him for my list. Also, he was really, really close to make my list. Number 2 for me is Spawn.
Oh, Spawn! I didn't even think of
it. Yeah, Spawn. I think everybody knows who Spawn is now, but yeah,
right.
Awesome.
I was in high school when Spawn
Again,
number 1 came out.
Amazing artwork from Todd McFarlane, who used to work for Marvel before he created Spawn, and to this day, he did one of my favorite Spider-Man series, where I think it was just called Spider-Man. And he did the first probably the first 10 issues or so before he left and went to start up Image Comics, and he drew one of the best versions of Hobgoblin I have ever seen. Not to mention one of the best versions of Mary Jane I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I mean, plus he had that whole like the Spawn series on a cartoon on HBO was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. I actually have like the first 2 seasons. I never did get the 3rd one for some reason, but yeah.
All right, number 1, big surprise, Punisher. Punisher is the most badass motherfucker ever. I'm sorry, but he's the most like one of my very favorite lines from Punisher ever. He's got these guys and he kills a bunch of guys and he's walking along and he finds out that one of them's still like kind of half alive, right? So he looks down at the guy and he goes, "Save me a bullet. Walk towards the light." I love that line. It's fucking amazing, right? And then like during the Welcome Back Frank thing, he did like the greatest thing ever. Like all 3, like Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Wolverine. Like Wolverine, he drove an armored personnel carrier halfway over him to stop him from like catching up to him. Spider-Man, he had this room full of claymores, right? And Spider-Man swings through the window and he's like, "Oh shit!" And Frank's standing by the door and he goes, "Hey, by the way, the floor you just landed on is pressure activated, so I don't think your Spidey sense is going to help you get out of this one, right?" But turns out he took all the explosives out of all the claymores because he doesn't want to hurt any. He doesn't want to hurt Spider-Man, right? Because ultimately a good guy, right? And then my favorite one is what he did to Daredevil, right? The Daredevil, he activates this like high-pitched noise, and he goes, "Yeah, I can hear dogs barking from this noise 2 miles away." It's like, I can only imagine what it's doing to Daredevil, right? And Daredevil's like, "Oh my god, I'm fucking." It's like, "So I'll make this quick," and he just punches the fuck out of Daredevil, right? And then when Daredevil comes to, he's chained to a pole and he's got a gun in his hand, right? And basically the whole thing is Frank makes him choose between Frank assassinating a guy or Daredevil can shoot him. And Daredevil says, "What kind of choice is that?" And Punisher says the greatest line ever. He's like, "The choice I make every time I pull the trigger." So it's really, really good. And they actually did that almost word for word in the Daredevil series, which I can't wait for the new Punisher series. Anyway, my number 1 is Punisher Dreadwing.
Cool. I haven't watched the Daredevil. Like I watched like the first half of the first season, and then
it gets better when Punisher gets into it.
I kind of figured when they announced Punisher was going to be there. I just haven't gotten back into it. I hate jumping into the middle of it after not watching it for a while. You know?
Right.
Number 1 for me, I got to go with Wolverine. He was my all-time favorite as a kid, and again, that's fuck shit up version of Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Standing on a pile of bodies and his like. He's not even in his costume anymore because it's just ripped to shreds.
Yep.
Blood dripping off of everything. And he's just, that's Wolverine. There's an epic 2-part comic where it's him and Sabretooth just going at it. And they just tear each other apart.
Is that the one where was that the one where in the very beginning of it, Sabretooth hints around that he's Wolverine's dad?
I think so. I think
When he
it's
calls him
hinted
Sonny
there.
Boy.
I think so. I think that's that was the first time they hinted at that that
Right.
idea. Yeah, absolutely great. It was a two-parter. It was great. One of my favorite Wolverine comics of all time is that one. So yeah, he's my favorite. That's my
All right.
number one.
All right,
There,
there we go. All right, so hey, that wraps it up for this episode of Hangar 18, number fucking 55. Thank you for listening. I don't think anybody was listening this time, but somebody listened to it eventually because they always get around 20 views anyway. So there you go. I'm doubting like you and I go back and listen to it fucking 10 times a piece. So,
no.
So hey, thanks everybody for listening, and I will be at AmeCon in Indianapolis, Indiana next weekend. This weekend I got nothing going on, but I'll be at AmeCon. We'll have a booth there. It'll be me and the Wild Weasel and Crimson Guardsman and maybe another Cobra Viper there. Should be a good time.
Cool.
We'll be collecting for our charity again. So far, we made $15,000 for our charity this year. So we're pretty proud. Not just our little garrison. Our little garrison about $2,700, but overall our group about $15,000. So that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Pretty happy about that. So you got anything going
on? Not really. Might be going to a fencing tournament this weekend. So
fencing.
See how that goes.
So you gonna put up the best? Like, are you guys gonna be like picket fence versus privacy fence?
Yeah. Cyclone fence.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then chain link. Right. So all right, everybody, fuck, stay metal, gentlemen.
Stay metal. I'll catch you next week.
All right.